We're taking a deep dive into the upgraded vehicles of State of Decay 2, and today we're taking a look at the Viking, so let's jump in. Hey everyone, Sam here, also known as Mr. Stainless, and if you're new to the channel, why not hit the subscribe button? I upload new State of Decay videos every week, and it's a great way to stay informed. So today we're continuing the series diving deep into how the upgraded vehicles work in State of Decay 2 in an effort to find out which ones are the best. And today we're focusing on the Viking, the long distance endurance vehicle of the game. Now the Viking can be crafted by upgrading any Ramis, I can never understand how to pronounce these ones. You know the one I mean though. You can upgrade one of those or the utility truck in State of Decay 2 to get the Viking, and it's going to cost you one medium upgrade kit to do so. The main selling point of the Viking, in my opinion, is the dual fuel drum setup at the rear, which gives the vehicle an increased fuel capacity. It is equally lightly armoured for a slight increase in hit points, but this vehicle can't take a beating like other upgraded vehicles like the Slam Wagon for example. As for trunk space, the Viking has 6 storage slots, which honestly is pretty average and a little underwhelming for this vehicle. So let's talk about speed. For this test I've set up a stretch of road in Drucker County that all of the vehicles in the series drive along. Each of the vehicles have equally been fully repaired by a survivor with max auto mechanic skills, and yes, these tests have all been carried out after update 19. I had a ton of you contacting me on Reddit and here on the YouTube comments asking if this had been done after update 19. Yes, it has, don't worry. Now from a stopping position, it took the Viking approximately 30 seconds to travel the full 640 meters, with 13 seconds to reach what we will be approximating is the Viking's top speed as it rounded this corner. At top speed, it took the Viking 4.42 seconds to travel 100 meters, and if we use some math calculations, that means that the Viking has an approximate top speed of 51 miles per hour, rounded up to the nearest mile per hour. Now that is only 6 miles per hour faster than the Bandito, which I'll give my thoughts on in a moment, but how does it do in reverse? Well, in reverse it took the Viking approximately 9 seconds to travel 133 meters to the marker, which gives it a reversing speed of approximately 33 miles per hour. As for fuel consumption, the Viking consumes 1 tick of fuel every 326 meters when fully repaired, which is pretty exceptional. Now you'll notice a little bit of a speed penalty when using the Viking off-road, but it will be marginal. The Viking really excels at traversing off-road in my opinion in general, and you shouldn't notice many issues in getting this vehicle to travel over rocks and hilly terrain. It grips and handles really well off-road, and you should be able to pull off some really controlled drifts and handbrake turns. Unlike the Bandito that swings really quickly when you pull the handbrake off-road, the Viking has a much more consistent and controlled spin, and that handling is almost mirrored when on-road. You won't be able to pull off drifts as easily, but the drifting capabilities are much greater than that of the Bandito for example. So let's look at the stats. The Viking has a top average speed of 51 miles per hour, a reversing speed of 33 miles per hour, it has 6 slots of vehicle storage, it has great off-road handling and off-road grip, with great on-road handling and grip, and it can travel long distances while conserving fuel. So is it a good vehicle? No, actually. At least not in my opinion. If you want a vehicle that conserves fuel and you just want to drive around the map, the Viking is great, but more often than not, that's not what we're looking for in State of Decay 2. It's not an incredibly fast vehicle, in fact it's only marginally faster than the Bandito, yet it has 3 fewer storage slots, and it equally can't take as much of a beating, and that's really the vehicle that I'd compare this to. In my opinion, the Viking is one of the weakest upgraded vehicles we have access to in the game, and that could be made so much better and more useful if it was able to have the utility truck scoop on the front, or some other perk that added to its usefulness. But folks, that's my opinion. Why not let me know what you think of the Viking down in the comments below or on my Discord. There's a link to it in the video description. But until next time, have a great week, and I will of course speak to you all soon.